Perfect. Thank you. Hi, I'm Raquel from Tangerlis. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you, Raquel.
How
I'm
are
Tim, by
you?
the way.
Jeff.
Nice to meet you. Well, how are you?
We're good. We're getting to spend the day in a nice air-conditioned room talking about the show that we are very passionate about and getting to meet people like you. So what can we complain about?
Thank you.
I mean, we're writers. We can complain about a lot, but we won't.
And I do have to sit next to Tim again, but beyond that, everything's good. So
Tell us about the process of creating the show. It was a challenge, or what inspired you? Tell us.
I mean, I think what inspired us is, I think sadly a lot of us in the world can say that, we know people, family members and friends who have been touched by cancer. And so, Jeff and I had people in our lives who we saw who, had come out the other side and really benefited from that experience. And it's weird to say, but, they told us, like as horrible as it was and as terrible as it was battling the disease, like they actually valued the experience because it made them into sort of better people. And that was really interesting to us. And we then, we did a ton of research because obviously with a subject matter like this, we wanted to respect it and make sure that we did it justice. So we did a ton of research and really found that a lot of people who have experienced this come out the other side, change people and really appreciating their life more than they ever did and sort of not taking for granted a lot that a lot of people do. And we actually found that there's a medical term for this called PTG, which is sort of PTSD's sibling. And PTG is post-traumatic growth. And people who have near-death experiences, maybe a soldier who's gone to war, will come back and suddenly, appreciate the birds chirping and a nice picnic in the park or whatever it may be that they never really took for granted before, or they took for granted before, excuse me. So that was really inspiring to us, and we wanted to sort of find a way to dramatize that.
Okay. Well, what life lesson did this show teach you for the two of you?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question one more time?
Yes. What life lesson did this show teach you?
Oh, I mean, for us, I think for me, it taught me to really start appreciating things that I didn't appreciate before. I think a lot of us go through life and we let stress and all these other things take over our lives and not realizing that if we actually step back and realize that, if we're positive about this and you can take on this new outlook, it's challenging. But, I think that's really the one thing that we strove for with this show. Like we had a couple friends who went through cancer and a lot of them, what they would do is one of them especially, he learned like how to dunk a basketball and he took jazz classes and he took hip hop classes. He did all these just fun things that he would never have done before because he's like, why not? I can do all these fun things. So I think that's really what it comes down to is just finding this positive outlook on life that it's actually in you. You just have to find it.
Okay. What is your favorite character in the show?
That is a really tough one because they're all our favorites and they're all parts of us in a lot of ways. But I mean, I think I would have to say Grady. I'm tempted to say Kai because I'm scared of everything, but I'm going to go with Grady because I think when we were, again, and this came from research, but we sort of discovered that a lot of the siblings of teens who have had cancer, their siblings really struggle. And it's hard because, in a lot of ways, they end up almost jealous of this terrible experience because of all the attention and all of the sort of love that is showered on their sibling who is the one who is sick. And that's sort of antithetical that you would be jealous of a bad experience, but it also totally rings true emotionally. And so I think when we sort of hit upon that, we found that was kind of funny that Grady is sort of bitter that his sister got sick and there's something sort of comedic about it, but also it's sort of heartbreaking that he sort of is aware that it's odd and aware that it's sort of, it's unfortunate, but that he has these feelings that he can't help. And so as a young boy, I'm a man still trying to sort out my feelings. He's a young boy trying to sort out his feelings and get in touch with his emotions. It just sort of allowed us to take him to really interesting places. So I would say Grady.
Okay, and you?
I guess I would go I loved them all as well, but I guess I would go with Carl, the dad, because I relate to him quite a bit. Like I'm very close to my son and I understand the struggles that he goes through wanting to be there and finding a place, you know, that maybe you didn't know you had. So like, you know, like as soon as his daughter got sick, he found this special thing that he had, and he was able to take care of her. And what I really like is now that she's better, that struggle to have to understand that he has to let her go, and now finding what his next piece is in life. And I think that's a really interesting character to have. And I think it's a unique character for a father to have, especially in a you know, a kid's family show with so much, you know, going on in the background. And obviously our actor, Kevin, is he's amazing, and he nailed it. So he was a lot of fun.
Oh, okay. My last question is, what we can expect from this season?
Well, you could expect a lot of surprises. I mean, our goal really was to make a show that was very real and was respectful to you know, people who have actually lived through this, but also, you know, we tried to find the comedy in a lot of unexpected places, and we also did not shy away from drama. So I think it's really a true dramedy in that there's some very you know, very dramatic moments, and then there's also some light ones, and we tried to like let the story take us in whatever direction it sort of wanted to go. And you know, we had an amazing writing staff that made it very true to the experience. A couple members of our writing staff have firsthand knowledge of this experience, and so we really think that the season is just packed full of a lot of surprises, but you know, very emotional in the highs and the lows.
Sounds amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Nice to
to
meet
meet you.
Bye.